I swear to you, awareness is a curse. Once you become conscious about things, you can't enjoy the simple parts of life anymore. You go to sit down and watch a movie with some friends, and within minutes, you're analyzing the manipulation tactics, the propaganda. You go to a party, and instead of enjoying the moment, you're analyzing all of the social performances, the masks, like the facades that people are putting on. You just can't enjoy things anymore because you see right through them. Once you wake up, you can't go back to sleep. Your brain will just hyper-analyze every situation, which inevitably leads to more suffering. Like, I can't have a conversation with you because I just see how there's a desperate need for validation. And I don't want to entertain that, And it's not that like I'm superior. It's just I can no longer relate. I can't act like this absurdity is normal anymore.
All right. And that is the video. And I just got to say, I have been feeling like this for so long. I mean, decades I've been feeling like this. And I know a lot of other people share this same sentiment that being hyper aware, it starts to feel like a curse after a while. One of the reasons why this feels like a curse is because you stop being able to enjoy certain simple things because you know how these simple things work. You know how they impact your life. You know how they impact others. And, the phrase ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is indeed bliss. And one situation that happened for me was when I was a kid, when I was like in middle school, maybe the beginning of high school, I used to make music. When I made music, it was like beats and stuff like that. I used to get on Fruity Loops, Pro Tools, and make beats and stuff and sell them to other kids because they wanted to be rappers, right? And because I knew the engineering behind how music is created, I started listening to music differently. And it became this thing where I didn't listen to music from a point of enjoyment anymore. I listened to it from a point of dissecting it and seeing how it worked. And a lot of people have this same problem, and it applies to every subsection of their life. Even when they go to work, they know the hierarchy of the corporation that they work for. They know how much the CEO gets paid or roundabout. They know how much the managers get paid, and they know how much they get paid. And just this simple token of knowledge can cause so much anguish in your mind. You're not able to, quote unquote, enjoy work anymore. Even if it's a job that you actually like doing, knowing this thing can cause you mental anguish, and it can cause you to not to enjoy it. And this guy kind of related it to a movie. How, let's say like you used to direct movies, or you used to be into filmmaking or something like that. Being hyper aware and having the knowledge of how this stuff is made will literally cause you to dissect it in your brain and not enjoy it. And I think a lot of people focus on just everyday life, especially day-to-day relationships with other people, especially with couples and things like that. Like when you're dating, it's a huge thing now, especially with the development of the internet. Everybody is aware of the nature of the opposite sex now. So many people are giving out dating advice and saying, oh, women are thinking this when you're doing this. Oh, men are thinking this when you're doing this. And it's causing people to just not live in the moment anymore. And I did a lot of videos about how, especially in the United States, it just doesn't feel like we have that sense of community that we used to have in the late 90s and the early 2000s. That sense of community is gone. And I blame part of it over the internet and the rise of social media. People don't want to be social anymore in real life because they're social on, social media. And I think another part of it is the hyper awareness that just plagues the average American. When you're doom scrolling, because we all doom scroll, don't act like you don't doom scroll. When we're doom scrolling, we're constantly scrolling past videos that are telling us about how other people think, right? Telling us about how people hate on you, or how people are going to make money off your back, or about how, people they want to see the worst for you and they will step on your neck to get to the next level. We're not meant as humans to have that much knowledge. We're not meant as humans to know that much about how our own mind works. And that's just my opinion. But I think the more you know about how the human mind works, the less enjoyable life literally becomes. Everybody watching this video knows at least one person that is just not responsible in life, right? This person has probably worked in fast food, bounced around from low paying job to low paying job. And somehow these people that you outperform on a daily basis, they enjoy life more. They enjoy life more. It's because they tend to let go of certain things. They tend to let go of the shackles that adulthood places on you with the responsibility and the things that you're forced to do every day. They've let go of those shackles. They've let go of societal norms. And this causes them to sometimes live happier lives. You know, in the other video I did about how a lot of people are feeling like they're going to be working forever in the rat race. This guy was in a foreign country. I believe he may have been in the Philippines or in some Asian country, but he was saying how the people there, they don't make a lot of money. Okay. They make a fraction of what the average American makes, but they live much more fulfilling lives. And that should ring a bell for you, because no matter how much you make, if you are participating in some sort of societal norm that constricts you from having fun without said money, you're going to be addicted to making money, and that money is going to come and go, and that means your fun is going to come and go. And when you don't have that money, you don't have fun. I mean, honestly, as an adult living in the United States, what can you go outside and do that's fun that you don't need money for? I mean, hell, you can go outside and play in your yard, right? I mean, that could be fun. But at the end of the day, that yard did cost money. The lawn maintenance costs money. Making sure you don't have ants in your yard costs money. The ball that you're playing with costs money. Every single thing you can think of, it costs money. And that's one of the things that also constricts us to basic societal norms, is the need for that money, the need to want to participate in consumerism, because without consumerism, we don't have fun. You wouldn't believe me if I told you, if you ask the average American right now, what do you do for fun? They wouldn't know what to say. And if you actually take apart their lives and see when they're the most happiest, they're the happiest when they go shopping. They're the happiest when they're in the mall and they're popping tags. And this is one of the things I talk about all the time, is consumerism. It plagues your mind, and it gives the illusion that money is indeed happiness when there's people all around the world who don't have what you have, but live way happier lives. All right. And I know I'm trying to bridge this over to the original topic, which is being hyper aware means that, unfortunately, you enjoy life less. All right. And so I know there's a lot of people out there that have this same mindset. I know there's a lot of people out there that they started growing up, you know, and they started realizing the true nature of people. They started realizing the true nature of the corporations they work for. And in turn, it kind of made them have a stalemate with life. You know, it kind of made them just stop moving, not only because they're scared to go to a next level, because they know what's at that next level, it's going to be more and more resistance. But because things just tend not to go your way when you have too much knowledge. You know how things work, and those things tend to fall apart when you know how they work. So ignorance is bliss. Like they always say, ignorance is bliss, and too much knowledge can be a curse. Especially in today's society with the whole woke status. You know, when we look at videos online and we see comments on those videos, whether it has to do with politics or race relations or war, anything like that, you automatically get an influx of information from all of that stuff online. By reading the comments, you automatically get an influx of information on how people feel. You know, you may be happy one day and you think about going outside and you see a video with someone who looks like you, and you read the comments of the people who are just talking trash about someone who looks like you, and that can change your whole perspective on how you see the types of people that are leaving those comments. That's situational awareness, and it's going to cause you to enjoy life less at the end of the day. Being hyper aware is a curse, but it's a curse that is a double-edged sword, because I wouldn't want to live without this knowledge. I wouldn't want to be quote unquote asleep, like, you know, the Matrix and taking the blue pill. I want to take that pill and be awake. I want to take the red pill and be awake. No relation to the Manosphere red pill on this, by the way, but I would like to remain awake, but at the same time, it is a double-edged sword. So you have to choose a path in life. Either be situationally aware and have that intelligence, stay awake and bear the brunt of the curse, or be ignorant and live in bliss for the rest of your life. It's a decision we all must make as adults. So I want to know what y'all think about this topic because it's so interesting. I love talking about it. As always, if you like what you see, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.